welcome to Life with the Beckers. Today in this video we're going to be building Heron's Pump, which was developed in the 1st century AD by the same guy that made the steam engine, Heron of Alexandria. So, kind of the inspiration and some of the ideas from this came from other videos on YouTube and Robert Murray Smith. Definitely check him out and his channel. We picked this as like a fun DIY along learning type video, so hope you guys enjoy. And lastly, here's our Becker bullets.
Alright guys, so we've got all of our supplies laid out here, so we're just going to go through them with you. So we've got here a like wood burner, soldering iron type tool. Mostly we just use that to make holes in the plastic bottles. So that's what that's for. Then we got our standard hot glue gun with lots of extra hot glue. Always need extra hot glue. We have our 6 straws. We do color coordinate them because it makes it a little bit easier during the project so that you don't get confused about which straw is which. So that's why we have the 3 colors here. And then we've got, you know, scissors for the kitchen and your pocket knife or utility tool, whatever you have handy. And then we've got our water bottles, just obviously old bottles that we used, and but instead of throwing away, we're gonna make a project out of them. So here's the caps from those. And then we've also got a few extra, these are actually like the nozzle on the top of the bottle we cut off from some previous projects. And these are good to have just in case you need to add another nozzle to the bottle, or if you need to stabilize it, or in case you accidentally cut the wrong hole in this one and you need another one, which is usually what I do. So this is kind of all of the items you'll need for the project. Obviously, some of these things over here are very hot. Definitely not a kid-only project, but with some supervision, definitely a kid-friendly project for sure.
Okay, so Heron's Pump is, on the basic level, a 3-chamber system. We're going to use different colored straws to represent different parts of the apparatus. So the blue straw, that's going to be our fountain. The yellow straw is going to be mainly for airflow between the bottom chamber and the middle chamber. And then the red one is going to be the fill straw. So we'll have it at the bottom of the first chamber, and that'll fill all the way into the bottom. First step is going to be taking the lids off of 2 of your bottles and gluing them together. Oh, need another stick. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to go around the outside of it just to be safe. There we go. Oh, shoot. Oh, double, triple, quadruple. Oh, no. That's okay.
It's just a happy little accident.
That's okay. Yes, yes. It is all okay. Okay. So we have the lids glued together. So that's going to be our bottom 2 compartments. So these are going to be like this. This one's going to be like this. So we're also going to need to glue these. But first I think that we should worry about the fountain straw and the down, like the fill straw. There's a couple straws. The red straws we're going to use for the fill. So we're going to position this at the bottom of the top chamber. And then it's going to run to the bottom of this 3rd chamber. And then that way it'll fill the water from the bottom, creating air pressure in the second. And then the air pressure will flow through the yellow straws that we'll have in here to pressurize the water here so that it actually powers the pump. The good news is we only have to worry about the blue and the red here. So we could do red and then blue. So maybe the holes first. Okay. You'll just want to make sure that like it lines up. Find the design in the bottle, and then that way you can make sure that it's in like the same spot for each one. It says perfect on these ones, so we'll just line it up here. like that. And we'll just remember it's like that. So when we're making our holes, we're gonna have the pump come out the middle and the fill come in through the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take the wood burner. We'll knock over our hot glue gun. Thank you, Carm, my lovely assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll make our pump hole. And our fill hole. Always make sure you're properly ventilated. So our fill hole should be here. And our pump hole should be here. First test. Let's see if the straws work. Boom. Shaka. Laka. Boy.
Nice.
Good.
First try.
First try. So that's good. So we're gonna need the blue and the red. We're gonna need to figure out how far they're gonna need to go. The fill hole is gonna come all the way down. So the yellow one and the red one, those are the ones that are gonna go in this bottom and middle chamber. So for our yellow, what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure it. Our straws, they have these bendy area. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put this down in here, and we're gonna use that bendy area as our like
stopper.
Yep, our stopper, and then we're gonna have the rest of it come up like this, and we'll chop off this top part. We'll just bend it and put it in.
Yeah, kind of like roll it on itself.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like turn it into a V, like a little heart.
Aww.
Aw, it's a project of love. Seal it with a little bit of hot glue.
This is why we went with the mini hot glue instead of like a full size too. Just because we knew that we would be doing a lot of like fine, like things like intricate. So we didn't want to have like full blown giant globs of glue. So that's why we chose mini, in case you were wondering.
I'm gonna drill the hole, or I'm gonna melt the hole for it.
Yeah.
So our fill hole, doesn't really matter. There just needs to be 2 holes in there.
What's your recommendation on the difference between like one big hole in the center or 2 individual holes?
I'd say 2 individual holes for sure, just because that way each straw has its own channel, and that way you don't have to worry about sealing the bigger hole.
That's smart.
Next, we'll check it, see if it works. Ta-da! Ta-da! Excellent. Okay. So, we have our yellow. Let's make our red too, because that's going to be the next most important. Do you want to make this one?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be this exact, but the more like precise you can be, the better.
Definitely.
Yeah, let's just cut it
At the base of the bendy part.
Yep. Maybe just like right in there somewhere. Excellent. This should come off. Put the bendy part down. Here's our fill.
Nice. It's like
Voila.
we've done this a time or two or something.
When we pour the water into the top chamber, it's going to fill here and fill up this bottom chamber. So now we need the yellow to represent the airflow.
Like a beautiful artiste.
One hot glue bead later. Let's get working on the blue one. Let's put the bendy side up. And it's just gonna suck from the bottom of this second cavity. So, actually, this one straw should be just fine.
Perfect.
So, now we reach the hard part.
The dreaded and hard part.
So first, once we get this in here, we're not going to be able to remove it. I want the fountain to be a little bit shorter because I just want some burstage. I want to see some burstage, dude. So, we'll get some hot glue right along the bottom. And then we'll get that up in there.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Give it a little twisty. Make sure that it gets like in its bit where it needs to.
Make sure it's like fairly straight.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be perfect, but
Because of ours, it's gonna go down in here like this. So this should be pretty great. So the air is gonna go from this one to this one. So it's gonna be high in the second chamber and high in the bottom chamber. So I think we should cut it right below here. That way it can kind of have the most, and also maybe right around there. What do you think?
mm-hmm.
So we'll just cut out the bendy bits. And that should be good. That'll give room for the air to push up through the straw into here and force the water out through the pump. Ooh. So be careful when you're gluing, because we got the glue
Oh, no.
and we got this. So if it doesn't go through, then that'll be a problem. But fortunately, I think one of ours we can go through with. So that's great. Boom. So it'll be on this one, like this. Boom. This one.
Just to seal it up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one way to make a cool project way less cool really fast is if it leaks.
Glue up the other side real quick. Just glue it up something fierce. Just kidding. Glue it up something normal.
Yeah, the fierceness hasn't kicked in yet. That'll be when it comes to the red one.
That'll be the day. Just kidding. Red. So this is the fill of the future. So perfect. We'll glue it like that. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to glue it?
No, it's okay, you can. It's definitely more your forte.
And I'm going to hit it with glue on the other side too. As I bust it.
It's just a little bit of mid-project durability testing. Just like a disclaimer too. The first time that we did this project, it was like super confusing. We kept having to watch the video that we looked at over and over again to figure out like which straw was which and which bottle was which and like how does it even work. So after doing it a couple times, it makes way more sense now. But just disclaimer, if you're doing it for the first time and you have to stop this video 100 times, that's totally okay, because that's what we did too. So
yeah, totally normal.
Yep.
Okay, the good news is once you do it, it will work. It's not going to be like fake news. And this should be our Heron's Fountain. So let's go like this. We'll go like this one first. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Skewer not included.
Yeah, bring your own skewer. So the glue that we put on the red one is a bit thick and we're gonna need to be careful not to cover the hole, but also to seal it. So let's seal the blue. We'll have to kind of do them both at the same time. Dang, the two hardest parts.
Yep, this is the hard part, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. So, first, I'm gonna do the blue, and then I'm gonna do the inside. No, I'm gonna do the inside first. Now, unfortunately, we did cover the hole, but fortunately, this big skewer
is the MVP.
We should be able to remedy the situation. It's not perfect. Darn. Okay, so how about, so you see it's not like so didn't quite work, but I might be able to get in there.
Do you want me to hold it? Oh, I think we just came totally unstuck, didn't we?
That's okay.
Like we said, lots of extra hot glue.
Around the end, around the top end. Can you hold the bottle like together? Then we let it sit. It's about 1 water bottle's worth.
So far, so good. Bottom container is filling.
Any apparent leak?
Not at this time. No leaks showing. Looking very good around the red straw.
I feel like we forgot something.
No. Unless you mean to cut off this bit. So it's like open top. Okay, wait, maybe slow down because it's getting pretty full, just in case. Because I remember if we overfill this one, it can give us trouble. Maybe it just said that's what she said.
Okay, so 1 whole bottle of water. Looking good. I'm going to put the cap on. And I'm going to turn the whole apparatus upside down to prime it. Now, if we have any apparent leaks, they will be apparent. Okay. I gave the bottom bottle a little bit of squeeze just to help displace the air. We can see that it is steadily going from one container to the other.
Yeah, also welcome to our kitchen laboratory.
We actually want it to flow slow. The slower it flows, the more, like the longer your pump will flow. Okay, so we put the water in the top. It flowed to the bottom. We turned it upside down and it flowed through the yellow pipe this time and filled up this middle cavity. So now that it's ready, once we pour more water into here, it'll kind of start a chain reaction and start our pump. We have maybe another 1/5 of a bottle.
Yep.
We'll pour it in. The pump started. Still have about
Yeah, it takes very
a 1/6
little.
of a bottle, so yeah, very little. And then voila, you guys, we have our own Heron's pump.
It's interesting too, because like if you tip it or like interact with it, it like slows down the volume of the fountain.
Okay, then once it's done running, You just put the cap back on. And now we should have enough water in the system to keep it primed by flipping it upside down and turning it back over. So we'll turn it back upside down. It'll prime itself. Any extra water that doesn't like fit in here is gonna drain back into this bottom cavity, which is what'll start it. You can change how much water flow you get by changing the length of these straws.
Yeah, like the difference between the yellow straw and red straw lengths, and then the blue straw length, of course.
Voila. Turn it back over. And there it goes. So you guys can do this.
Yeah, we looked it up on YouTube.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have done this on YouTube. This is just
the Becker version.
That was awesome, guys. Done and done, I like to say. All right, so this is really a fascinating project. You could do a lot with it. It could be some sort of energy generation device. It could be like a garden fountain, or it could even just be like a cool shelf like ornament or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely either way you're going to learn about water pressure, and it's a good fun experiment just to learn about how different things like air and water work together.
Here's another couple that I've made, other than the one that we've made. This one looks like a little piggy, and this one is a 4-chamber one. So if you want to see a video on these or anything like that, definitely let us know in the comments below.
For sure.
Share and subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Like bolted, like. Thought I was a picture.